what's it like been talking to Ndamukong Suh, like, and talking about a potential deal and all that? Can you give us any insight?
Always the fun thing about getting to know a player is you bring him in and hey, we play footballs. It's what can we do as a team to help you accentuate your skills, and what can he do to help us? So it's always fun to bring someone like him in and say, okay, with Wade Phillips, a 3-4 defense, he's always played in a 4-3. Hey, and let Wade and his staff explain to him, hey, this is how we're going to use you in base, in nickel, and in some of the situations when you get into nickel or when you're rushing the passer, what you might be able to do with him partnering with Aaron Donald. So those are the fun things to talk about football and culture, and do we provide what he's looking for, and does he provide what we're looking for?
I'll give you the good story. That was a great GM answer, and you guys are like, okay,
it is about football.
It is about football.
This is why Kara gets the music,
right? And so, and it is about football. I mean, you go through all of this, and you can get involved in this and that, and then at the end of the day, you're like, okay, but what is he going to do on the field with Aaron Donald, and how does he help our team? But we went out. We had done an event together, and then we stopped at the dinner when he came into town with his girlfriend, who is so cool, by the way. She's like 6'2". She played basketball.
Whoa.
She's amazing. So I spent my night talking to her, but we had Ndamukong, we had Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, Kevin Demoff. So we had, Sean McVay, we had the whole group assembled at Nobu, you were asking, in Malibu, which, I mean, if you're going to take somebody and
you're not messing
show them LA,
Yeah.
that's where you're going to do it. So Les and I walk in the front door.
It's about football.
Les and I walk in the front door, but we're still recruiting at this point, and we walk in the front door, and there's James Corden. Like, literally, like, we bump into him at the front door, and Les says, hey, good to see you again, because he had done a skit where he was an LA Rams cheerleader at one of our games, and quickly became clear to us that he doesn't know that much about football and doesn't. So we're sitting here trying to weigh, do we bring him back to meet Ndamukong Suh or not, or he's even going to understand.
It's very LA.
He didn't, so we just let him go on and have his dinner, and then you pass by a table and there's David Spade and Chris Rock, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is
perfect.
LA fever dream if you're going to parade, Ndamukong Suh
I
through
thought the
there.
story was going to end with you guys doing carpool karaoke with Sue in the front seat and you guys in
You know
the
what?
back.
That would have actually been. See, we needed you
He
there
would've
for these
signed by now.
ideas. Yes, he probably would have liked it. But it was a really fun dinner, and you could really see, and anybody who follows Ndamukong Suh has seen him with Buffett, and how he's interested. So he and Stan were really getting into some deep conversations, and that's the kind of guy that he is. And the great moment, and I'm gonna give a little bit of thing away. The great moment of the night
Les
was
is just
when
waiting for this.
No, he knows what I'm going to say. The great moment of the night is Stan pulls his chair over right next to Ndamukong, and he goes, okay, now I'm going to play the part of Ndamukong's agent, and I'm going to ask some tough questions. So then he started peppering questions to Sean to answer for Ndamukong, and it was hilarious, and it was fun, and it was it was a great night. But he's a really, really interesting guy who has a lot of broad interests, and obviously very analytical as we sit here on day number of the Ndamukong Suh watch.
Quit counting.